So who lived in the tenement houses? The 19th century was a time for massive population growth for the United States. In 1800, slightly over 5 million people called America home. By 1900, that number skyrocketed to 75 million. A large portion of this extraordinary growth can be attributed to European immigrants. Europeans hit America's shores in two different waves, old and new. Old immigrants were those who migrated to the United States between the 1820s and 1870s. It was during this time that many Britons, Germans, and those of Scandinavian descendants crossed the Atlantic and landed in America. These immigrants were typically English-speaking, literate, Protestant, or Jewish, except for the Irish Catholics, and could blend fairly easily into American society. The new immigrants, however, did not merge into American culture as easily. Instead, they faced a variety of struggles. The new wave of immigrants came from Southern and Eastern European countries such as Italy, Greece, Poland, and Russia, as well as Asian nations like China. The new immigrants were typically poorer and less educated than earlier immigrants. These immigrants were very different than the typical American because they were overwhelmingly Catholic or Greek Orthodox or Jewish and unfamiliar with democratic government. These cultural differences prevented the new wave of immigrants from fully assimilating into American culture. Instead, new immigrants often congregated in close-knit communities that consisted only of few members of their ethnicity. Large waves of immigration in the 19th century made New York City America's largest and most diverse city, but also its most unhealthy, as the large spike in population made it more susceptible to disease. Compared to other large urban areas such as Boston or Philadelphia, New York's death rate due to disease was considerably higher. It was not until the middle of the century that New York workers realized that their poor living conditions might be the cause of the city's poor health. As American cities industrialized throughout the 19th century, infectious diseases emerged as a real threat. The introduction of new immigrants and the growth of large urban areas allowed previously localized diseases to spread quickly and infect larger populations. Towns grew into cities as industrialization sparked urban migration from rural communities in both the United States and Europe. The increased demand for cheap housing by urban migrants led to poorly built homes that inadequately provided for personal hygiene. Immigrant workers in the 19th century often lived in cramped tenement houses that regularly lacked basic amenities such as running water, ventilation, and toilets. These conditions were ideal for the spread of bacteria and infectious disease.